Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report, and we got some news. We got some rumors to talk about. I'm going to give you an update on Johnathan Hankins, his injury. Brett Favre, he said some interesting things about Davante Adams and Derek Carr. We'll talk about it. And then Jacob Hollister. Could he be on his way out? Bleacher Report seems to think so. Now, if you guys are a part of the nation and you're a diehard fan, whether you're watching, looking for news, rumors, and if you just want a whole bunch of more free content, hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications, and this is the time of the year that having that notification bell on, it helps you out a lot. Why? That way you just don't miss anything. So, to the people who I know are a part of the Noti gang that try to be one of the very first people to comment on our videos, Untouchable Raider 1960, as always, Raiders for Life, Junior, Raiderville 13, and Phil. If you want to see your name on a future Raiders Report show, subscribe and turn on those notifications. Believe it or not, it helps me out a lot. It really, truly does. Let's now look at the injury update around Johnathan Hankins. And again, this is not a big-time injury update. This is me just being close to Hank and connecting some dots here. So he was able to go home for the 4th of July weekend. Remember, Hankins had surgery on May 17th, and even though he doesn't expect to play in the preseason, this is good news. And the reason why it's good news is because I talked to Hankins and I said, hey, man, I want to get you down here to Dallas, Texas. I want to get you on the Raiders Report. How can I do that? He flat out told me, him and his team said, he has to be cleared by trainers in order to fly. Once that happens, then the ball can get rolling. I don't know if he's going to be coming on my show, but I know that there was a point where he wasn't allowed to fly, and now he's able to fly. He was able to go home. He was able to visit his family. So to me, that is good news. He is progressing in the right direction because, believe it or not, Hankins might not be this guy anymore, 9th year into the NFL, who's going to be the best DT in the league. But he's a veteran, he's a good run stopper, and this team needs some extra DTs. So this is some good news. So all I want you guys to do right now is wish big-time Hank a speedy recovery. Show the guy some love, even though he's still probably licking his wounds after losing a burger-eating contest to a 5'10", 180-pound soaking wet white guy. But hey, it's all good. Type those 90s in the chat right now to give big-time Hank a little bit of love and a speedy recovery. Coming up next here on the Raiders Report, Brett Favre, he rips Davante Adams. I've seen a few people talk about this on the web, and here's what the entire story is. Essentially, all Brett Favre said was that he believes Davante Adams' numbers are going to decline this upcoming season. In fact, he said, I would be shocked if Adams maintains the same production. And this is, coming off 2 very, very impressive years for Davante, where a guy put up 123 catches. He had 18 touchdowns the year before. Really solid numbers with back-to-back NFL MVP Aaron Rodgers. Now, if you're looking for the exact quote from Brett Favre, well, guess what? You're in luck. No disrespect to Davante at all. Zero disrespect. I do think that Davante will make Derek Carr better, and in time, they will be a dynamic duo. Now, will it be the duo that Aaron and Davante had? Time will tell. I think Derek Carr is a very good quarterback, but he's not in Aaron's league yet. He may never be, and that's no disrespect either. But I do think that Davante owes a great deal of gratitude to Aaron and the Packers for drafting him. That's not to say he's not a great player, because he is a tremendous player, and we'll see that with Las Vegas. But it's just hard to shift gears, especially from a player as prolific as Aaron Rodgers. I'd be shocked if he had the same year he had this year. That's not to say he can't do it, but I would be shocked. So what do you guys think about that quote from Brett Favre? Obviously, he's an NFL Hall of Famer. You got to have some respect for him, whether or not you like the jeans he wears. But what do you think? Will Adams' numbers dip this upcoming season for the Raiders? It's a Y for yes. And for no. Let me know what you guys are thinking, because for me, well, I'm going to give you my answer, but first, I want you to go give us a follow over on Rumble at rumble.com/Raiders Report. If you're watching this video live, you're going to get an exclusive video during Rumble After Hours. I've been chasing, I've been clawing, I've been trying to get to 2,000 subscribers over on Rumble. We need 143 more. So if you could do me a big favor, and if you want to be able to listen to Raiders videos ad-free, and you can listen to them like a podcast, minimize the screen, throw it in your pocket, go to rumble.com/Raiders Report, and please give us a follow. So are Davante Adams, are the numbers going to be dipping this upcoming season? I'm going to give this one 3 just win babies, and I think it's pretty likely. And I'm kind of in the same boat with Brett Favre. This is no disrespect to Davante. This is no disrespect to Derek Carr. I see this. I have watched DC play for a long time, and he's not Aaron Rodgers. Sorry, and you shouldn't be offended by that. I also know this. Rodgers, throughout his entire career, has never been afraid to focus on one receiver and pepper him with targets. That's also the Green Bay Packers' fault because Davante essentially has been the only player there. I look at this Raiders offense right now and I think to myself, well, if I look at numbers, if I go back to my fantasy football days, Carr is going to spread the ball to Darren Waller. He's going to throw the ball to Hunter Renfrow. He's going to spread the ball out because that's what he does. And then when you look at some of the past numbers from Davante, they're impressive, no doubt about it. Last season, 123 grabs, 1,553 yards, 11 touchdowns. Year before that, 115 catches, 1,374 yards, 18 touchdowns. I mean, the amount of targets that he's getting are substantial. And when I go and look at overall projections, I look at opportunities, whether it's on the defensive side of the football or offensive side of the football. When I project numbers, I look at opportunities, and the opportunity for a receiver is targets. Last season, Davante Adams had 169 targets. Last in 2020, 149, 2019, 127, 2018, 169 again, 117. The reason why I believe Adams' numbers are going to drop is because he's not going to have as many opportunities. Why? Because Darren Waller and Hunter Renfrow are going to also get targets. Now, I'm not saying Adams isn't going to have a healthy target share. He's going to be the number one targeted receiver that the Raiders have. But the number one most targeted player in a Derek Carr offense over the past 5 seasons, Renfrow had 128 last season. Waller that 1 year, he had 145. That was a very high number, but even that is 24 less than what Adams had last season. 117, 101, 101. All I'm saying is this. He's not going to have as many opportunities. Touchdowns, though, I wouldn't be surprised if they're still easily double digits. So how about this? Because I know some people are probably not going to like that I'm saying, oh, the numbers are going to dip. But, you know, it's my job to try to be as real with y'all no matter what. And if I'm not real with y'all, then, you know, hey, honestly, I would tell you to go watch another show. So I want you to predict receptions, yards, and touchdowns. Please predict that stat line right now for Davante Adams. The next story coming up here on the Raiders Report is going to be around a trade room around Jacob Hollister. But hey, man, I want to give major shout out to the people who are giving us those super thanks, which is a new feature that YouTube has where if you can't watch the show live, it's like sending in a super chat. So shout out to Christopher Leonard who said, Mitch, forget Sue. All good. I get you there, bro. Shout out to Christopher Keefe. Yeah, so if we go back to it, trade for Daron Payne, have him teach Butler, also sign Hayden to help our DBs. In terms of Ndamukong Suh, you can if getting Daron Payne was the upper hand of Suh, I would take Daron Payne in a trade over Ndamukong Suh every single day of the week. But hey, why not both, right? Also, we had a few more flowing in here from Christopher Keefe. Much love to you, my guy. Mark's always throwing in the 10s. So, Mark, you're a special one. Luke Atkinson, I hope I pronounced that one right. And then Bruce Rentz. I don't know if you're trying to troll me, but people always call me Mitchell Renz. And I got my Uncle Bruce, so I was like, what the hell's going on here? And then Jaime Tice or Jamie Tice. Much love. Appreciate you guys sending in those super thanks. And if you want to shout out on a future Raiders Report show, you can click that little heart button underneath the video. Believe it or not, especially super thanks in the month of July with numbers down. They do. They go a very, very long way. All right, the next story here again is around Jacob Hollister and is he getting dealt? Bleacher Report, they released an article titled Raiders Top Trade Candidates Ahead of 2022 Training Camp. Remember, training camp starts July 18th for the Raiders for rookies, quarterbacks, and UDFAs. The vets, they report July 20th. Hollister was one of 3 players that were mentioned. If you want to check out the article and see the other guys mentioned, you could probably connect the dots on one of them. Las Vegas is loaded at the tight end position. When I say loaded, you got Waller, you got Foster Moreau. That's arguably the best tight end duo in the entire league. I believe Hollister's the 3rd best tight end on the roster. But hey, if there's teams out there that need an extra guy, I understand trying to make the move. This is what Bleacher Report had to say on trading Jacob Hollister. The Raiders, they added Jacob Hollister to their tight end room this offseason, and the 28-year-old could serve as a valuable depth at the position. Hollister has experience playing for McDaniels. He was with the New England Patriots in 2017 and 2018. He has served as a complimentary player with multiple franchises. However, playing time in Las Vegas could be hard to come by for the Wyoming product. The Raiders have a legitimate star in tight end Darren Waller and a very capable backup in Foster Moreau. And they're 100% right. You got Waller, you got Moreau. I'm not 100% sure on how many tight ends the Raiders decide to keep. I believe they keep 4 because they're going to run a lot of 2 tight end sets, which if they only keep 3, that could be a pretty interesting thing when you talk about Hollister, Bowers, Horsted, and then Fotheringham. I actually believe that Hollister would get the most in a trade compared to all those other players because he's played on some different rosters. Let's continue these quotes here from Bleacher Report on trading Hollister. If the Raiders are confident in their top 2 tight ends, and they should be, Hollister could become a prime trade chip to offer to a tight end needy franchise. His best season came in 2019 with the Seattle Seahawks, where Hollister produced 41 catches for 349 yards and 3 scores. Hollister is signed to a modest $1.2 million contract that includes just $76,250 guaranteed. Las Vegas should have little trouble flipping him for a high day 3 draft pick if a team comes calling about a pass-catching tight end. So they say high-end day 3. I'm not 100% going to agree with that because high-end day 3, that kind of sounds like a 4th or a 5th rounder. That's not going to happen for Hollister. But what happens if an NFL team was like, all right, you guys want to move on from him? We need somebody that can block. We need somebody that can catch, can play in some different schemes. 6th-round pick for Jacob Hollister. Would you do it? Let me know in the comments right now. I want you to type T for trade. Or if you're like, nah, man, I'd rather hang on to him, type P for pass. If a team wanted to offer more, obviously I would take it. Personally, though, I want to hold on to Hollister because of the pass injuries that we've seen from Foster, the pass injuries that we've seen to Waller, and I believe that you're going to see a lot of 2 tight end sets. So T for trade, P for pass. Let's say that NFL team tries to make the deal. One of the things Bleacher Report alluded to were tight end needy teams. I think Seattle, who's not necessarily a tight end needy team, but they have those connections with Hollister in his best season back in 2019. The Minnesota Vikings might have the worst tight end room in the entire NFL. The Panthers, the Saints, they desperately need tight end help. Yes, the 49ers have George Kittle, but besides George Kittle, who often gets hurt, that room is not very good, and they've gone up. They've seen Hollister play in years past. So those are my Hollister trade destinations. Hopefully y'all made it this far in the video, and if you could, I would really appreciate it if you gave me a like.